everyone, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for this special Kitaholic Kits video, which is part of our crop challenge. So this crop was run on the 25th of April, and I have created and am representing the challenge of create a layout using one of the design team's signature style. Now, I listed all of their signature styles. I've got Sue's signature style as being layers. I've got Chrissy's signature style as using mixed media. I've got Lauren's signature style as using the printables. Ranella's is using multi-photos or making a like a project life type spread. Essie's is using a smaller sized page, not a traditional 12 by 12. Myself is using cut files, and Louise is using torn paper. So I hope at least one of those can inspire you to get creating, and you can absolutely mix more than one of these together, but I chose to just sort of focus on my own challenge here, which was to use a cut file. You could almost say I've snuck in a little bit of Louise's with torn paper. I haven't actually torn anything, but I have quite severely distressed the edges of my paper, which is a similar-ish look if we're really trying to stretch it. So I have pulled out quite an old kit. I have pulled out the kit that had the Bloom Street in it and also had the Lucky Us Valentine's Day collection in it. That is the kit that I've pulled out, and it is quite an old one. I'm not even sure when it is from, but months and months and months ago. I cut, so I've got a white 12 by 12 that I cut the center out of, and I'm just sort of layering it up with this little border of that Bloom Street paper in and around, which I absolutely adore. So I wanted to get just a little hint of that. Then I have back to cut file. Now this is one of our exclusive cut files that was released again months and months and months ago by Anita, by Neat and Crafty Cut Files. I just obviously saved them all when they all got released as part of the kit releases, and dug out one of those floral clusters to use for this layout. I then have an 8 by 10 photo that is an absolutely stunning photo. It's a professional photo that was taken at my best friend's wedding, where I was the maid of honor, and I am letting it be sort of at the forefront of this photograph, right in on top of that cut file. I'm going to layer up a few clusters of florals around the sides of the photo as well. Now I'm almost completely out of florals. I literally have, I think, 6 of the die cut florals left. I did fussy cut that sort of larger cluster floral there off one of the cut apart sheets, but I'm very much at the bottom of my barrel when it comes to my floral pieces from this Bloom Street collection. So I am going to layer up all the bits and bobs that I have and just roll with that. And it actually works out to be just enough, I think. Obviously, you can never have too many florals, but I think this was just perfect. So I'm just piling all those up. Some of them will be popped up on foam. Because I put the cut file up on foam, I actually needed to put that little daffodil up on 2 pieces of foam, double foam, so it was even bigger than the cut file. So there's quite a bit of dimension happening in that little cluster there. So I'm also adding in a few little sprigs of green, so any little leaves or sprigs that I have, I'm popping those in too, and I'm really just using as much of those ephemera as I can. Then once I have done all that, I do feel like I just need to pile up just a little bit more to build up that cluster. So I went back to that cut apart sheet and I fussy cut the little ladybug there and the butterfly as well off the fussy cut sheet, or off the cut apart sheet, just to give that cluster just a little bit more to add to it. I then also cut these little love hearts out of a section of the cutty parts as well, again just to add a little bit more in and around the layout. Once I have done that, I'm almost out of Bloom Street ephemera, and I could absolutely pull in some other bits and bobs, but I decided I wanted to stick with Bloom Street. So then I'm going to pull out these Lucky Us puffy hearts, and I'm going to add some of those as well. In my brain, I had originally thought that I would only do the hearts in amongst the clusters, but when I saw those super gorgeous X's and O's in the black, I decided I wanted to throw those in. My bridesmaid dress is black, and so I thought just having those X's and O's would be okay in and amongst the cluster, and I actually really love the way that that looks. Once that is all down, I pull out my gold Heidi Swap Color Shine and give that a few splatters, and then I pulled out the black as well, again just to tie in those darker tones that are happening within the photo and with those X's and O's as well. Then I need a heading. I just keep it simple and go with this gold Beatuiful. It was also from one of our kits, but again a long time ago. I feel like it might have been February, maybe September, not sure. There's quite a difference between February and September, but I feel like it was one of my boys' birthdays and they're born in February and September. So one of those. And in the end, it was really easy for me to choose where to put the heading because I didn't want to fiddle around with having to put heaps of foam underneath it to make sure it was all on the same level. So I put it across the cut file where it fit almost perfectly. It only needed one little tiny bit of foam and I didn't need to add anything else to it. Once I have done my heading, I do go ahead and pull these stickers that are from my stash that is also a Heidi Swap brand, and I just add a few little gold love hearts just to tie in a little bit more of that gold and to make it look a little bit more purposeful. So once I've popped on those gold hearts, I am basically finished with this layout, and I just love the way it came together. I love that humongous floral cut file. I just feel it is absolutely stunning, and then all the other floral bits and pieces on the page. I just love the way that goes with the feel of this beautiful bridesmaid wedding layout. I hope you are enjoying our crop today, the 25th of April, and I hope you are playing along and doing some of those challenges over in the Kitaholic Kits Facebook group, which I will pop in the description box down below if you'd like to join in. There is a whole week you can finish the challenges, so you've got until INSD weekend, which is the 2nd of May, to get those finished. Thank you so much everyone, and I will see you all next time.